Good morning. A few people here already, so let's give it a few more minutes. I have been putting on music in the background of some of the classes. I'm not 100% sure how well you can hear that. So I'm in two minds. I'm thinking, shall I take it away altogether? And you can put on your own music if you like to have music whilst you're moving. Anyway, just a thought there. If you've got any feedback, then let me know. Or maybe you can hear the music and you'd like to know what it is. Of course, happy to share that as well. I know a lot of you like the music I play or that we play in the studio. And we're all different, of course. Having said that, we are all very different around what we prefer and to listen to, and if you like music at all during your yoga practice. A few people arriving gradually, and you're all very welcome today, whether you know me personally through my face-to-face classes, or whether you're somebody who's new to our business. And we've had a lot of new followers, or a lot of people subscribing to our YouTube channel now, and we don't maybe know all of you. I don't actually know who subscribed because I can't see that information. Well, I don't think I can see that. I haven't been able to find it, but it might mean that there's some of you who are new to us, and you're welcome too. Whether we ever meet in person after this, or whether we're just going to stay connected maybe online, always feel free to contact us, whether it's on here on YouTube or whether it's after the session. Feel free to ask any questions for all of you, actually, about the postures, about the classes, or if there's something that you'd like to see or do that we haven't done yet, then you're welcome to contact us. Okay, let's just do a quick time check. Yep, we're ready to go in terms of time. We're ready to go. Just see if there's any messages here. Sometimes if people can't hear me, you might contact me there and just tell me. So that looks pretty good. Okay, yeah. So we're going to start the session this morning in a seated position. So as comfortable as you can be for sitting cross-legged. And so you might actually, if you have at your disposal within close reach, rather than having to run off now and find, it's not essential. It's just a blanket. If you want a blanket to sit, you might prefer to do that. You might have all your stuff organized ready anyway, but let's sit cross-legged or something similar that accommodates your body. Notice how it feels to be cross-legged in your knees. There's a couple of postures this morning that will challenge the knee joints in the sense that they may be quite closed like this. So there will be a deep bend in the knee. Now, it's not essential that you do that. And certainly I can give you some pointers on how to have a different leg position if you find this kind of thing doesn't feel good. A stretch is okay in the knee, but not if it's hurting. If there's pain in the knee, definitely avoid. So don't force yourself into any posture, including this one, if it feels too tricky for you. Rest your hands on your legs, sit tall, lift up through your spine, balance the head to stack on the neck. Allow the shoulders to gently drop down, and maybe close your eyes. I'm going to close my eyes for a few minutes here as we prepare for the practice. And this is a really great way to move yourself into your practice, if you like. And we're pulled in so many directions, of course, in everyday life, but maybe feeling that more so as you're trying to practice in your own home. If you're lucky enough to practice this live, if you've managed to carve out the time, great for you. If you're practicing at a different time because it wasn't possible for you to join in, then try to now take this time that you've managed to create to become fully aware, fully integrated physically, mentally into your practice. And of course, that's one of the things that a physical class, a physical experience in the studio offers, is that time to sort of escape the busyness of your life, it's a little bit harder for you and me to create this time when we're at home. And that's okay. So make a commitment to continue the class. Even if you do pause the class, come back into the class and continue for the full duration, from the start to the finish. And whilst you're sitting here, move your attention to your breath through the nose, if you can, both the inhale and the exhale. Inhale and the exhale. Feeling that you can slow down. Slow down your breath, slow down the busyness of your thoughts. We're going to stay sitting. We're going to stay sitting tall and take a gentle twist to your right. So I'm going to mirror the image, the postures. Twist to your right side, left hand across the leg, right hand is behind. Reaffirm, inhale, long spine. Exhale, turning to your right. You can turn the head as well. If that feels good in your neck, just a bit gently wake up the spine. We've got a few twists today in the session. We've got a few back bending type postures as well. So actually some big postures, deep stretches. Second side, left hand behind, right hand across. Sit tall, breathe in, and turning gradually to your left. And then slowly releasing. We're going to stay sitting. Actually, I'm just going to come up to the screen because there's a message and I just want to check I've not missed something. Oh, good. That's good feedback rather than it being a problem with sound. We're going to stay sitting. We're going to extend the right leg out wide, and if you can, if you're sitting facing the long edge of the mat like me, take your right leg and see if you can keep your right heel on just for your own comfort, and your left knee bent. The heel is sort of quite close to the groin. Again, check the knee. If this doesn't feel good in your knee, well, you can actually just modify this quite easily by bringing the foot further forward, or if it feels too much to bend it at all, you can't bend it, you can have the legs wider. You can go for a straighter position with the legs. It's a little bit harder actually in your lower back if you have the legs wider, but do your best to get yourself comfortable. Try and sit tall, lift from your lower back, spine, breathe in, reach up with the arms. We're going to take a side bend or a side sort of twist bend, your right hand reaching across that right leg, wherever you can reach. It doesn't have to be the foot, right? Heavy through your left hip, and then keep your chest open towards the sky as you reach the left arm across. So it's like a bend, side bend, but then and sort of an element of twisting as you try to maintain the left shoulder back. Heavy down through the left hip. So nice and gentle this morning until we get moving a little bit more. We get a bit more warmth in the body. And then inhale, coming all the way up. We're going to switch over. Extend through the left, right knee bent, comfortably positioned for your needs. Sit tall, lift the lower back, reach up with the arms, inhale, exhale over to the left side. Left hand is reaching down the leg, doesn't have to be the foot. Reaffirm, spin the left shoulder back. So reaffirm that opening sensation. And heavy down through the right hip, right side of your pelvis, sinking as much as you can. And then releasing to bring yourself all the way up. Now we're going to come into a version of child pose, so you don't need any blankets or anything. Have the toes tucked, be towards the back of your mat, toes tucked under as much as your feet allow. Sandal season is upon us, so it's quite nice to get the feet moving more. We tend to be quite stiff or solid in the feet when we wear heavy boots and shoes, so free up the feet a little bit, ready for sandal season, and hips moving back towards the towards the heels, but don't force. If the knees aren't happy, then you can have the hips further forward. Hips back if possible, and then reaching the hands forward. Extend the arms, try to keep the arms straight. The head might be down, it doesn't matter if it's not. And let's take 3 more breaths here. In through the nose, so be aware of those breaths, be aware of the breaths coming in, the breath leaving the body. And then what I'd like you to do is almost stay pretty much child pose, but untuck the toes now. We'll take a little rest there with the feet. Moving slowly. If your feet are a little bit stiff, I'd say it's quite normal for that. After that deep stretch in the feet. So hips moving back in the direction of the heels, but this time have your left fingertips down to the floor. I don't know if you can see that detail on the video. Left fingertips down, create space under the left arm to reach the right arm across. So you're twisting, reaching your right arm through the space of your left upper arm in a twisted child pose. So you can even look through the left arm if your body allows, or if you can get that far through, if you can twist that much. Don't worry if you can't. And then releasing second side, right fingertips down, extend the right arm, create space under the right armpit. And then reach the left arm, of course, through to the second side. Okay, and then releasing. When released, come up onto the hands and knees. If you need a bit of padding, you can use something onto your knees. We're going to stay on the knees for a short while. So you're in tabletop position with your wrists underneath your shoulders. And yeah, just to check your space, that you have enough room out behind for your foot and you have enough room forward for your arm. So that gives you a good clue where we're going with this. What we're going to do initially is just work with the core muscles and use a little bit of movement at the same time with your breath. So let's breathe in, reach the right leg back, extend it out behind. And as you breathe out, bring the right knee through the space underneath the body towards, in the direction of, if not actually, the left elbow. Don't worry if you can't get to the left elbow. Let's go again. So inhale, extend the right leg. Try to keep the right foot clear of the floor. So pull upwards as well as forwards. Left elbow roughly forward, if not actually the elbow. Inhale. Right leg out behind. And exhale the knee forward and across. Now inhale, extend the right leg and keep the right leg there. So make the right leg straight, push the heel away, have the toes turned down so your right hip sits level with your left hip. Now opposite arm, which is your left side, try not to do the same side, it will be really tough. Left arm possibly reaching forward. If you can, left wrist shoulder height. So right heel hip height, left wrist shoulder height. Keep the belly button drawn in towards your spine. One more breath. Exhale both down to the floor. Switch sides. Both hands stay down initially, of course. Inhale, left leg out behind. Exhale, the knee forward and through, across to the right elbow. Pull the belly in. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, extend, keep the leg there. So we're going to make the leg firm, strong. Push the heel back, toes point down. Left hip level with right hip. Right hand. If you can lift it off the floor. If you can't, then you can have it forward. Maybe lighten the load. Reach forward if you can, shoulder height. Don't worry if you can't get to shoulder height. Belly button draws in towards the spine. And then releasing both down. Take a little rest with the hands and knees down. And then we're going to tuck the toes. Press to the hands, hover the knees, and then send the hips up into downward dog. And chest pressing back. The legs can stay bent, of course. You may be familiar with your postures if you've been to lots of our classes. Steady breath here. Let's bring the chest forward so that the shoulders stack over the wrists. So breathe in as you bring your shoulders over the wrists. The hips go level with the shoulders and heels. And then exhale as you press back into downward dog. Inhale, come forward. Keep the belly button pulled into the spine. Exhale, pressing back. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, pressing back. Walk the hands back as the hands move backwards, standing on the feet. Feet hip width. Try and spread your toes out here. Move weight from the hands completely and take the two fists, and press each fist on the inner elbow. So you've got the fist on the inner elbow. Push into the inner elbow, so push the fists outwards. And then folding down or staying folded, try and widen between the shoulders as you push the hands into the crease of the elbow, or even it's kind of into your bicep, isn't it, right? So pushing, widening, a little bit of activity in the arms, but try and relax your legs here, your lower back. Let's take 2 more breaths with the arms, hands active. And now releasing the arms, let the hands hang, let the hands relax. The wrists release. Drape yourself forward. Loosen out the neck.
So you should just check. You should be at the back of your mat, of course. So you should still be there. Don't adjust yourself, even though I moved around. Because we're now going to crawl forward again. We're going to bring the hands back to the floor and walk the hands forward to move back into that plank position. So inhale at plank, shoulders stack your wrists. Now you can bring the knees down, but gradually releasing to the floor as you breathe out. Inhale, squeeze the shoulder blades together as you bring the chest forward. Untuck the toes, press the tops of the feet to the floor. And breathing out, move into downward dog. And again, inhale, shoulders stack the wrists. Exhale slowly to the mat. Inhale, untuck the toes, squeeze the shoulder blades together. So the heart comes forward, the spine is long, rather than crunching up the lower back. Lowering and downward dog. Let's go again. Inhale, shoulders over wrists. Exhale gradually down to the floor. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, release to downward dog. From here, lift the right leg high, extend it out behind. Make the leg as straight as you can. Exhale, step the right foot between the hands. And step the left foot in slightly. So you're going to step in slightly, but keep the left back heel lifted. Stand flat to the right foot, bent in the right knee. Reach up into a high lunge position. Stay fairly low in the hips today. So rather than rising up too much, try to keep the right knee bent. Project the right thigh bone forward. Steady breaths here. Let's bring the hands to the hips. In fact, let's bring the hands to the floor. Let's go slightly lower for a little bit more support. Keep the back heel lifted and now play around with going straighter in your right leg. The leg itself might not go dead straight, that's okay. And certainly even if it is straight, you want to make sure you're not pressing into the back of the knee joint. You don't want to hurt the back of the knee. Draw the left hip thigh forward. Squeeze the inner thighs together. Inhale. Exhale and fold. So depending on where you're reaching, you can walk your hands back. You can keep fingertips down. Pretty strong stretch through both legs. Bend the right knee, bring your hands to the floor, step back to downward dog, extend the right leg high in the air. And bring the right foot down to the floor. Let's go to second side. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, step the left foot between the hands. Step the right foot in slightly just to help you stabilize. Rise to a high lunge or crescent lunge position, crescent moon, sometimes called. Low with the hips. I want you to feel that you're stretching your back thigh here. So you need to be fairly low in the pelvis in order to do that. And then the hands are going to come down to help support us for this pyramid pose. So extend the left leg or make it straighter. Squeeze the inner thighs together, so your right hip coming forward. Breathe in and breathe out, fold. So you're folding, but it's pretty intense, right? So as I'd say, it's some big stretches coming up here. And we're not that warm yet, so I would, not push it too much. Nice and steady. This is going to get us warm. And then releasing to bring the hands to the floor. See if you can now sweep the left leg up high and back behind, and downward dog at the same time. And then lower the left foot down. Inhale, right leg lifts high. And as you exhale, bring your shoulders over the wrists and draw your right knee to your left elbow. So you're twisting slightly, just like we did in the tabletop position. Inhale, left leg lifts. Sorry, right leg lifts, same leg. Exhale as you bring the knee forward. Inhale, one more of these like this. Exhale, the knee forward. Inhale, lift again. And as you bring your right knee across to the left elbow this time, you're going to turn onto the outer edge of the back foot. So inner edge up, press the foot down, back leg straight. Take weight into your right hand. Maybe kick that bottom right leg forward. If possible, hip height, but it might not be, right? Pretty tough, big posture. Inhale, exhale, back into three-legged dog. Steady breaths, one more breath. Exhale the right foot down. Second side, inhale, left leg. Exhale, it's a twist. You're bringing the knee forward towards the right elbow. Inhale, slow it down. You know what's coming up, but try to slow it down. Exhale, the knee forward. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, knee forward. Inhale, leg lifts. Prepare yourself here. Legs kind of coming forward. Prepare the left hand. Swivel onto the inner edge of the right foot. If you can lift your right arm, reach up. If you can extend your left leg, reach forward with the heel, the foot horizontal. Possibly hip height, not necessarily going to be that simple. Inhale. Exhale. Lift the left leg high. Steady the breath. 3 breaths here. Release the left foot down. Inhale, right leg lifts, first side. Exhale, step the foot forward between the hands. A little different here. We're going to sit to the floor. Right foot, lift your left, and now cross your left knee behind your right shin or foot. Sit down on the floor, on the inside of your left heel. So you're going to sit on the floor, but as a mirror image, your left heel is on the outside of your hip. Basically sitting for twist. Don't force this bottom knee in this position. You can also extend the left leg if you need to. But try to sink your right hip down. Inhale, reach up through the left arm. Exhale and wrap or hook the left arm across the right leg. Just to remind you, I've switched round. I'm mirror imaging you now. So you should be turning to your right, and it's your right leg over the top. And from here, we're going to uncurl. We're going to reverse that movement out. So you're going to stand on your right foot again. I'm not imaging anymore. Side of the foot, you're going to stand on the sole of your right foot and step back to plank. Gradually lower down. Inhale, half forward. Exhale, and press back. Inhale, left leg. We'll do the second side. Exhale, step the left foot between the hands, so left foot all the way forward. You're going to take weight into the left foot, so lift your right leg and cross your right knee behind that left ankle or left leg and sit down. As you sit down, your right heel should come to the outside edge of your left hip. Okay, again, I'll do mirror image. You're trying to sink your left hip down. And you're going to turn to your left. Inhale, left, right arm up. Exhale as you wrap and turn to your left this time. Just check it's your left leg over the top. Remember, you can straighten out the bottom leg, your right leg if needed. So these twists are helping us to warm the spine, ready for some of the back bending postures that we're going to do. So as you're doing these, just see how it feels. Notice how you experience the twist today. Okay, so we're going to reverse. Again, you're going to stand on your left foot, hands down, release back to plank. Inhale at the top, exhale as you lower. Inhale, hop forward. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, shoulders over wrists. Exhale, lower down, and you're going to come all the way to the floor and stay on your front. Again, untuck the toes. Make sure you've got space in front for your hands and arms. So you might need to scoot your toes to the back of your mat and reach your hands forward. Turn the palms to face each other so your thumbs are on top and either have the forehead or chin down. I guess you might want to watch the screen before you join in. But we're going to basically extend through alternate legs and arms, trying to lift them off the floor, more or less depending on how it feels. Okay, so we'll go right leg, left arm, inhale, opposite arm, right leg, left arm, hold, but still breathe. Lift as high as you can. Try to keep the legs straight and the arms straight. Exhale, lower down. Maybe rest the head as well as you lower down. Take a pause. Relax the lower back. Relax around the pelvis, the thighs. We'll do the second side. Inhale, left leg, right arm. Again, lift as high as you can. Make the legs straight. Make the arms straight. So again, warming up the back here, warming up the spine muscles around this lower back area. Steady breaths. Exhale, lower down. Rest the head, rest the neck, shoulders, hips, pelvis, thighs. Press on to the hands underneath the shoulders. Downward dog. This next posture is a fun posture. It's a fairly modern take on yoga postures. you need a bit of space at the sides of your mat, either side. Not loads, but just enough to make sure that you can move confidently and carefully, comfortably in your space. So what we're going to do is inhale, lift the right leg. You might want to watch first. If you've never done Wild Thing, it's worth having a look because it's certainly one you can't see when you're in. Right leg lifts, bend the right knee. So the right heel comes to the right buttock, and then you're opening the knee wide. So this is the first part of the posture, and you can stay here if the second part feels too intimidating or not, you're not ready for this today. So knees going open and wide. Okay, if you feel comfortable, you're going to keep going with that right foot coming just off your mat. We're on the outer edge of the back left foot. So this is the right leg over the top. The back leg is straight. Left leg is straight, should I say? Not the back one, the left one. Now lift up through the hips. Obviously quite a bit of weight in your left wrist. So your wrist is slightly forward of your shoulder. You can reach up. You can open the spine. So right leg bent, left leg straight. I'm going to stay here just for a little while. I'll rest in a moment, but you can join in when you're ready. So I can go through that again if you need. And you can join in if you didn't do it with me. Lift the right leg, bend the knee, open the hip. So again, you can stay here or you can keep going into a twist and back bend at the same time. Lift the hips up. Check the neck is happy. It's a bit of an opening sensation around my throat. Quite nice though in the neck. And then slowly lowering both your right hand back down. Lift your right leg back into three-legged dog. Exhale the right foot to the floor. Okay, second side. I'll only go through this once for the second side. So if you were able to join in with the voice instruction, go for it. Lift the left leg high, extend the leg. Nice and slow, steady, no rush. Bend the left knee, heel to buttock. Open the left side of your hip and pelvis. That could be enough of a stretch. If you're happy, left foot keeps going over, probably off your mat. Weight into your right hand. Right leg straight, left leg bent. If you're happy, lift your hips. Open the chest. Steady breaths. Big posture. Lots going on. Exhale the left hand to the floor. Lift the left leg high out behind. Exhale the left foot down. Steady breaths. Right leg lifts. Exhale the right foot between the hands. Settle the left knee to the floor and stay low through the pelvis. So settling the left knee down. Okay, so this is opposite hand. Right hand is going to connect potentially with your left foot. So make sure you've got an opposite hand. So your left hand is on the floor for stability. And you're going to twist because we want to twist into this towards the right bent leg. If you can't connect the hand to the foot, that's okay. You could even lift the foot without reaching in. Or you might want to keep it down. Now, if you're able to connect, push the left foot into the hand and keep the hips low. At the same time, turn the chest towards the sky, squeeze the shoulder blades together. And then exhale the hands either side of the right foot. Lift the right leg high into the sky. And settle the right foot to the floor. Inhale up through the left side. Exhale the left foot between the hands. Settle the right knee down, comfortable as you can. Your right hand's going to stay down because it's, oh, have I done that wrong? No, left hand, right leg. Easy to get the left and rights mixed up here, yeah? So opposite hand to leg. And connecting the hand if you can. Stay low in the pelvis. Turn to your left. Spin the chest round. Top shoulder, left shoulder back. Squeeze the shoulder blades together and push the right foot into the hand. These kinds of postures where we twist and move the body into very non-standard postures, so non-standard shapes that we don't do every day, always help me to feel like I can shift my mood. And quite a lot recently, I've been feeling quite stagnant in my moods, whatever they are. If they're down, slightly down, or slightly bad mood, then this kind of thing helps me to shift. Let's release, hands down, and sweep the left leg high. You should be feeling nice and warm in your spine. Lower the left foot. Inhale, right leg. One more of these big postures. Exhale, this time the right knee just behind the right wrist with your left heel sitting just in front of your left thigh. Basically pigeon posture, if you know pigeon. Sink the pelvis down and tuck the back toes. And we're going to possibly connect the hand to the foot, but this time it's the same hand as the foot. So left hand, left foot, of course. And rather than kicking the foot back this time, see if you can pull the heel in and then fold. Makes it even supercharged for most. What you're trying to do, extend the right leg high. Exhale the right foot to the floor. Second side, inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale the knee between, forwards, but not between, to the left side of your, behind the left wrist here. Left hip, left heel forward. Sink through the hips, untuck the back toes. Encourage your right hip to stay level with your left. And it's the same hand as the foot. So right hand, right foot. And again, instead of kicking back, pull the heel into the hip. And then folding forward. I mean, you don't have to go low, but try to encourage your right hip to move towards leveling out with your left hip. So it's like your right hip's moving towards your left heel. That front heel out in front here. And then releasing. And instead of going to downward dog, I'd like you to join me by sitting with, let me get this the correct way, your right knee bent out to the side. And if your left knee allows, bend it deeply to bring the left foot back behind you. You want to try and sit with your left hip down, but don't force it. It can be useful to sit on a prop again. So sitting on a blanket might be helpful if your left hip is lifting quite a lot. But check the knees, okay? So if the knee is the reason your hip won't go down, don't force yourself to sit low. Okay, you can always straighten out your left leg instead. Okay, so you can take a full bent leg position, or you can extend the leg that feels uncomfortable in the knee. Okay, we're going to sit tall, lift up through the lower back as much as you can. Extend, reach up. Exhale as you bring the left hand across to that outer right knee, head right down to the knee if you can, with your left hand behind, right hand behind, spin to your right. Encourage the left hip to drop, left hip dropping. Maybe turn the head. So feel the activity of the movement, the postures in the body. Slow down your breath. Maybe close the eyes here. And then exhale, release. Second side. Knee, left knee wide. Right knee, if it's bending, the right foot's going behind. Trying to sit the right hip on the inside of the right foot. The right hip's dropping down. Left knee's wide. Inhale, lift up through the pelvis from the lower back, extend the spine, and exhale the left hand behind as you reach your right hand across. Inhale, sit tall. Exhale as you twist to your left. Twist to your left, close your eyes, settle in. And then exhale, release. Bring yourself back into child pose. Any preference of child pose that you have, take that now. So you can have the knees wider, you can have the arms forward, you can have the hands back, you can rest the head on the hands or the head on the floor. If you can get the head rested on something, let the skin on the forehead sort of gently migrate towards the bridge of the nose. So as if the forehead was wrinkling downward towards the bridge of the nose, relaxing the forehead, and maybe close your eyes again. Soften the face. Steady out the breath. Relaxing into the lower back, the space between the shoulders. And then slowly coming up. Turning around to sit on the center, at the center of your mat as you lay down. Rest the head, rest the neck, let the shoulders drop. Release through your arms, and you can keep the knees bent or you can extend the legs out as your body wishes this morning. Heavy through the limbs. Once you've got yourself settled, join me in taking 3 big breaths in through the nose to fill up really big, and then breathe out fully through the mouth. So we're going to breathe in and then sigh. So breathing in Let it all go. Let the head release, so the neck, release the head, and turn the head gently side to side a few times to check the neck is as relaxed as you can make it, or encourage it to relax as much as you can. And then allowing the head to eventually settle, become still with the gaze or the nose pointing directly towards the sky. So the eyes might be closed, but it's as if you were looking towards the heavens, directly upwards. Relax the face. So again, check the face softens. You might need to even just check in with those muscles around the eyes and the mouth, the jaw. We can be tense and hold expressions without realizing that's even happening, because we do it so much. It's the natural pattern. We want to break that pattern just to help you relax a bit more. Soften around your throat, your neck, your shoulders. Feel like the front side of your shoulders is encouraged to drop towards the floor, which is almost the same thing as encouraging the shoulder blades to gently flatten on the mat. So the shoulder blades flattening, and then settle the upper chest down. So once you've got yourself in position, actually just rest there. Press through your biceps and your elbows, your forearms, wrists, hands. All the fingers are relaxed and curled. The thumbs are relaxed. Relax down the lower rib area, really useful to help you and relax your lower back. So let the lower ribs, front and back, drop towards the floor. Now don't force that, but just encourage a natural mechanism of releasing downwards. You might find as you do that, you need to scoot the pelvis, tuck it slightly under to release the lower back and release the ribs more. Soften the abdominal muscles, let the belly feel free and loose. Relax the buttocks, thighs, around the knees, lower legs, ankles, soft into the soles of the feet, and so all of the toes can relax. All of the toes can relax. And so allowing yourself to stay here. So resist any temptations to move, right? Because in a group-based situation, you might not move because you think, well, someone's going to see me, like mainly me, right? But at home, try to take this time now to settle in. Or maybe this is why you came to the class today. Maybe this is where you've skipped to, but that's fine. Let the body release down. Let the body become still. Allow yourself to continue resting.
Bringing your awareness back to all the points of contact where the body rests on the mat. So notice the back of the head and chest, pelvis, the legs and arms, the hands and feet. In your own time, beginning to gently move fingers to wake up, moving their wrists and their ankles, toes, feet, ankles, and begin to move up through the forearms, the lower legs, and maybe bend your knees when you're ready. Bend your elbows as you hug the legs into your chest. So use your arms to do that as well. And then rocking side to side on the back of the pelvis, on the back of the waist, the lower ribs, pressing into the floor. Let's rock over to one side, which works with your space, whichever side is best. And bring yourself up back to a seated position, maybe where you started in cross-legged. Lift the chest, keep the shoulders down, stand tall today. Bring the hands to the chest, bow the head. And thank you for your practice this morning. Thank you for joining in. Take care, everybody. Namaste.